we should be selling. And we'll also include those in the list and ask for comments specific to those parcels, so that we'll limit the scope of review of the departments, boards, and committees to a manageable number, and therefore, if we get back a
Well-
response that's more
The
appropriate.
problem I have with that last part of that is that unless we go and research these parcels, I don't know where they are, how much they're valued. I mean, I think the
We can-
department that show an interest should be telling us specifically why they have an interest in it and why it should not be sold, as they were instructed to do.
Well, another approach is to, just solicit people looking for parcels of land that belong to the town, period.
Sure.
And when they come up, we'll send a notice around that somebody's interested in buying 196 Main Street. And is there a reason why we shouldn't sell it and forget this?
Right.
So
I
this
think
is
it's a colossal
this
waste
is
of time.
my
Absolutely.
7th year
nothing.
on the board and nothing has changed.
I'm looking at a list of parcels here. I'm trying to find one of them.
You're looking for the parcels that are on this list here, Steve?
Yep. Okay, so we have, has an interest. The ones that you said that, how old are these requests to purchase, Greg?
Within the last year. So what we typically do is they come in over the course of the year, we gather them up and hold on to them until.
Now, the Russ Lane one,
Yeah,
specifically,
Yeah.
that was originally part of an association, I thought, where the residents down there originally were supposed to have ownership of that,
right,
when the subdivision
correct.
took place. And somehow or another, taxes stopped being paid on it, and we ended up acquiring it through tax title.
Yeah, it appears the conveyance from the private property owner to the neighborhood association never took place. And as you said, the result of that was the taxes on the land weren't paid, and the town eventually acquired title through tax foreclosure. That's, board members, that's 7 Rust Lane.
It's the bottom one on the list of cost to purchase. And we did have some residents down there come and make a presentation to us a couple of years ago, I think it was, a year or two ago, expressing an interest, and I thought we were moving forward and somehow or another to convey it back to them, so that they could start paying taxes to us. So I don't.
No, we have not done so because the issue remains that the taxes that are due on the parcel, how do we want to handle that? Short of a conveyance or direction from the board, we have not done that, Steve. If the board decides, you decide that's appropriate, we'll certainly get it done.
Yeah, I mean, on that one there, that specific one, I believe I have the story straight. I'd just like to get it back on the books and back in the hands of the residents down there in that area, so it isn't developed. They have to maintain or, pay taxes on it through whatever association they had. And I remember there was one gentleman who lived there or something who basically handled the bookkeeping, he did for a little while, and then either moved away, lost interest, or
Where is Rust Lane?
it's
Over-
off of,
So if a
Lower Park Street, down by the Linfield line, off of,
Oh, okay,
North
so
Ridge.
it's down over, it's not on the map.
No, actually, I don't, no, the map isn't
The
very
map
clear
is
here.
kind
The
of-
map is not very clear.
Yeah.
But if you look at it, it's by the Chester Street,
Yeah,
Park Street area.
yeah, it's down the bottom here, so
Yeah.
the frontage on Rust Lane is
Yeah, that's what
the
it is.
narrowest part
Shown.
of this lot.
It's not even shown here, is it?
Yeah, it's not on here.
It's not even shown. But it's, matter of fact, the street that it's on isn't even shown. It's off of, North Hill Drive. Is it North Hill Drive?
Greg, is this the letter you're referring to that you gave to all the employees, all the departments?
You talking about 5-5?
Yeah.
Sure.
Were they supposed to respond back to you other than in this Excel format?
Well, we expected to have a detailed listing of why they expressed an interest in a particular piece of property.
Okay, and Where did I miss that in
It's right in the third paragraph,
the paragraph?
the last sentence. Specific reasons should be given as to the reasons why a parcel should not be sold. Failure to provide such reasons will result in a response being rejected.
And I guess maybe they didn't understand that you wanted it in writing and not in this format. I don't know, maybe there's just.
Can't imagine that that is not a.
I just can't believe no one did it. That's why I'm saying maybe sometimes you have to go back and look
I
at.
believe it.
They never done it for years.
Welcome to the board.
Well,
This has
you
been
know,
way
It's not
more-
acceptable, but I believe it.
Well, it's shame on them. I mean,
One question I have regarding, is there a reason why, if a request comes in to purchase a parcel, we don't address it when the request comes in? Do we wait for an annual?
Yeah, the
review
board
of
has
this?
this very lengthy policy that was put together a number of years ago that states that there's a whole timetable that begins the first meeting in July and then kind of sets forth different dates. So what we try to do is unless there's an urgent nature such as the one that we had several months
Right.
ago, we try to hold them all at once, because what would then happen is you'd be bombarded with requests throughout the year. And your policy says you deal with it the first meeting in July. So that's the position why.
I'd probably like to see a change in that policy. I don't see why, if someone comes in to request a purchase of town,
Yeah.
parcel of town-owned land, we wouldn't want to address it and see whether or not it's viable, not viable to sell, make a decision on it on an ongoing basis versus on an annual basis. Someone who may have an interest today may not have an interest 6 months from now or a year from now.
Get them mother hot.
I mean, I think that's a good idea, but you think we should also maybe extend this 30 days and give them one more shot to do it the right way?
No, I think the chair had a good suggestion. These parcels that are, people have shown interest, we contact them, say we're interested in possibly conveying these parcels and start the ball rolling on these here, and then maybe if there is a board or committee that has an interest in it, that'll may shake them up a bit, and they may come before us and tell us why they have an interest. We can determine whether or not it's legitimate or not, and
It's almost like, Mike, I'm ready at this point to say,
give it to a realtor to list all those
everything here is
parcels.
available.
Right,
You know, and
given the economic
and
times we're in.
that's maybe an overextension, because there are a few items on here that clearly we want to maintain, right?
There are, that's,
Right.
you know,
That
that's
are
my
legitimate,
concern.
right.
And,
But if we can't get documentation associated with why we should keep these things,
I don't disagree.
and if our goal is to put some of this town-owned land on the tax rolls, you know, and we have the ability
Mhm.
to look at what people want it for, and we can control basically those items that we want to sell on that basis too.
Right.
Well,
Maybe that's how we can move this thing forward. We've been stuck here probably longer than I've been on the board, and nothing's happening.
Bob,
And this means that nothing's gonna happen again,
Bob,
unless we do something different, yes.
I'm sorry. Maybe we as liaisons to given departments and committees, that we can just address it at one of the meetings. I mean, at the LUC, I can sit
No,
down
I
with them
think,
and-
I disagree. I think the town administrator sent a notice off to all the department heads, they report to him, and if they've neglected to respond, then he has a problem. And I'm saying, you know, why do we let this piece of paper be in our way all the time at this point?
agree.
you know?
The only part I don't like is that they didn't respond, and Greg certainly doesn't have the time to go back and do it again.
No.
I'm not asking
But-
to go back and do it again, I'm just saying,
I just-
okay, we have a request for these parcels, let's talk about these parcels. We have people interested for one reason or another in these parcels,
Let's move on.
so.
Mike, maybe you know, because you're on Parks and Rec.
Yep.
Any of this ring a bell with you?
Yeah, there's a few of them in there.
That ring a bell in relation to,
Mhm.
you had discussion
Mm-hmm.
and what? And just,
I'm surprised that they didn't respond. I know there's a few in here that that they would be interested in, that's why I'm questioning, maybe they didn't understand the letter, or maybe
How did they
they.
not?
Well, you know.
I don't know
Tom,
how.
You know what? If they've been doing something for many, many years, following a format for many, many years, and we didn't provide them a new format to submit it in, all we said was, you know, specific reasons should be given as you know, maybe they thought this was the specific reason, yes or no, I don't know, I don't,
Yes
I
or
don't have
no
a
is
good
not a
answer for
reason.
you,
Come
okay?
on, Mike.
My sixth grader
I
would
know,
have
I'm,
been
wait-
able to,
I agree,
honestly, my sixth, or
I
maybe
don't
my fourth
understand
grader
it.
could have.
I know a lot of these people,
read
they're
the
smart
memo.
individuals, I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, I'm very
Look,
surprised.
You know,
It's a lot of work.
see this?
No,
You
it's
list
not-
out
it's
interest-
not a
but
lot
when
of
you
work.
list out interest in all of the land parcels, it's a lot of work to justify
Right,
why
so
you
what I'm
want it.
saying is, forget this, right?
I agree.
Start here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parcels people are interested in, right? Let's try to understand what this is all about. Then Greg can send a letter off to all the departments saying, the board's considering selling this land. Now you've got X days to come back with a written reason why we shouldn't sell this land. Makes it easier for them, they only have to respond to those that we're planning on selling, and maybe we move this thing forward.
Sounds great to me.
That's what I would do. You know.
I agree with that approach
Okay.
too, but I'd like to be able to take a look at that policy and change that policy, that we only do this on an
Yeah.
annual
Right.
basis, and that we do it
Well,
on a
that
rolling
we can do
basis.
too.
Right, I'd like to do that.
Well,
Yes,
what,
Greg?
what,
Just some additional information on that Rust Lane one. It's got 30 feet of frontage on Rust Lane.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
It's-
So 30 feet of
So you don't
frontage.
see that on the map?
No,
No, Russ
property-
Lane is actually off the page.
yeah, off the
Right.
page. It's where
Property-
that, you can see the curve.
yeah,
No,
Where
it's even beyond that.
Is it
Property
beyond that?
that's
It's even- It doesn't even show, you see the little curve down the bottom?
Yeah.
That's the entrance to North Hill Drive.
Yeah.
You go down North Hill Drive, and then Russ Lane's down in here.
Right.
You know, so you've got 6.3 acres with 30 feet of frontage.
Yeah.
And it all abuts, but it also abuts off of Fairbanks.
So I guess my
So if you
question,
take
my
one of these
question on
houses
this,
and bulldoze them
on the
Mhm.
247,000 square feet, who's making the request?
Yeah, you have a private property owner who's interested in the property.
There's one person on Russ Lane
Yeah.
that's expressed an interest in it. But the other abutters down there
Yeah,
are concerned because the parcel was originally supposed to be
Like a
deeded
park?
to everybody.
Right,
Okay.
it does state that there's a statutory covenant on the property which indicates that it's non-buildable, dedicated for the purposes of open space. So that covenant and restriction remains on the property.
so the person can't be acquiring it to
No.
develop, knock down his house, and then all of a sudden he might have frontage
They
on a
have
new
to-
street.
Obviously, follow the covenant that is recorded on the property.
Okay, so the individual, this is a single individual, not a
Right.
group.
The end of the cul-de-sac,
Correct.
Russ Lane, right, that abuts directly this,
Mhm.
that has expressed an interest in the 6.3 acres. But there were other people in the subdivision who were concerned because this was supposed to be part and parcel of the subdivision and for everybody's enjoyment rather than one.
Well, how did the town end up with property? Because the
The
developer,
home ownership organization fell apart.
Hmm.
You know,
okay.
One individual who was handling it stopped handling it.
So is this a resurrection of that, or this is,
No, this
No.
is a request from the other individual homeowner, who's a direct abutter, purchase the land. So we've got the individual homeowner who's a direct abutter expressing an interest, and other people were saying, someone else fell in the face, and we're all gonna suffer as a result of it. Now, how it was, originally included in the deeds as far as who pays how much towards the taxes and all, I have no idea. How the association is formed. And I know there was an association.
mhm.
So there lies our,
Why is it a dilemma?
because we accepted, the town accepted the subdivision this way,
Mhm.
recognizing the association. Yeah, whether it be through the CPC or, it's all part of the negotiations.
So
of
now
the
we
lot
own,
of
we own some land which they probably use if they wanted to, because no one's
My guess is
policing it.
nobody's using it, but, you know, it's just they're enjoying the open space.
Yeah,
You know, letting the wildlife run through it, that's fine. Everybody's
there's no access.
minimal, yeah.
Not unless you buy one of those houses on 89.
Right.
Whammo. You can sell